Arachnophobia. Arachnophobia is the intense fear of spiders and other arachnids such as scorpions or ticks. Those afflicted may scream, cry, or react dramatically at just the sight of a spider or even images of spiders. There's debate over whether this fear is inherited genetically or influenced by cultural factors. An interesting historical anecdote related to arachnophobia features King Richard III of England, who was reportedly terrified of spiders. Legends tell that once during a stay at a northern castle, a large spider descended upon him while he slept, causing such panic that it spurred him to decree the fumigation of all royal residences. This event is among several that highlighted the king's profound dread of spiders. Today, it's estimated that about 4% of the global population suffers from arachnophobia. Claustrophobia. Claustrophobia is a fear of small and enclosed spaces like crowded rooms without windows, hotel rooms, small cars, or elevators. It's often considered an anxiety disorder that can lead to panic attacks. Between 5 to 10% of people worldwide have severe claustrophobia, but few get treatment. A main symptom is the fear of not being able to breathe. People with this fear are worried not just about the tight space, but also about what could happen inside it. Cynophobia. The fear of dogs, known as cynophobia, is notably prevalent, particularly in light of the vast numbers of dogs globally. Significant dog populations around the world highlight this concern. For instance, Russia harbors around 15 million stray dogs, while the United States boasts 62 million pet dogs. Unfortunately, many dog owners are not aware of this phobia, which can worsen the situation for those suffering from cynophobia. Aerophobia. Aerophobia, or the fear of flying, whether in airplanes or helicopters, is also known as flying anxiety or flight phobia. People suffering from this condition typically avoid flying at all costs, regardless of the inconvenience it may cause in their lives. The most stressful parts of flying for those with aerophobia include takeoff, adverse weather conditions, and experiencing turbulence. Notably, 60% of individuals with aerophobia also report having another type of anxiety disorder. Aquaphobia. Aquaphobia is a severe fear of water, even when it's not dangerous. Psychologists think this fear comes from a mix of bad experiences with water and inherited traits. Worldwide, 2.3% of adults have aquaphobia. In the United States, 46% of adults fear deep pool water, and 64% fear deep natural water bodies. There's a specific fear of large bodies of water called thalassophobia. This includes the fear of swimming in them or just feeling overwhelmed by their vastness and the creatures living in them. Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia involves an intense fear of being trapped in situations perceived as dangerous despite actual safety. This condition often surfaces in environments such as public transit, malls, crowded spaces, and even in offices or educational institutions. Individuals who have agoraphobia typically take drastic measures to stay away from places they deem threatening. In its most severe form, the phobia can incapacitate a person to the extent that they are unable to venture outside their home. Germophobia. Germophobia, or the fear of germs, has become very common, especially as people age. It involves an innate fear of germs and the risk of becoming ill. While being cautious of germs seems sensible, germophobia can lead to excessive behaviors like compulsive hand washing. Although these actions may appear beneficial, germophobia can escalate into an irrational avoidance of leaving home due to fears of illness. Importantly, exposure to germs can actually strengthen the immune system and help reduce sickness and allergies. Astrophobia. Astrophobia is the fear of thunder and lightning. It's a treatable phobia that animals and humans often develop and overcome with time. People with this fear understand their feelings are usually irrational and that the threat to their safety is minimal. Most of the reactions people have with this phobia range from typical feelings like trembling or sweating to panic. However, there are some unique reactions that people with this phobia sometimes suffer from, such as the intense need for companionship and reassurance from other people that they will be safe. Often people with astrophobia are addicted to checking their local weather forecasts and sometimes even avoid going outside until they know there is no chance of a storm developing near them. Ablutophobia. Ablutophobia is the fear of bathing, washing, or cleaning oneself, often seen in children and women. It is categorized as a specific phobia, where the sufferer acknowledges the irrationality of their fear but remains unable to overcome it. Those with ablutophobia might experience a sense of detachment from reality or their bodies and fear severe reactions like nervous breakdowns, fainting, or even death. The origins of this phobia, like many others, are poorly understood but are often attributed to traumatic experiences. Dentophobia. Dentophobia, or the fear of dentists, is a common phobia that arises from various factors. These include negative personal experiences with dentists, hearing about others' traumatic encounters, or an individual's heightened fears about potential pain or complications during dental procedures. Additionally, societal portrayals of dental visits as unpleasant or painful can further reinforce this fear, making routine dental care a challenging ordeal for those affected. Trypanophobia. Trypanophobia, or the fear of needles, is an intense fear of medical procedures that involve injections or hypodermic needles. This phobia can lead some individuals to avoid vaccinations or necessary medical treatments. It's somewhat related to aquaphobia, which is the fear of sharply pointed objects. Approximately 10% of Americans suffer from a fear of needles, though some surveys suggest the actual figure might be higher. Social anxiety disorder. Social anxiety disorder, also known as social phobia, impairs individuals' comfort and functionality in social situations. The fear of judgment and scrutiny from others drives this condition, causing individuals to obsess over negative evaluations and worry about not being liked. Many people with social anxiety disorder may turn to alcohol or drugs to alleviate their fears, but these substances only mask the problem and can lead to further complications. Hemophobia. Hemophobia is the fear of blood. It can cause individuals to faint at the sight of blood, a reaction not typical of other phobias. Often stemming from childhood trauma, about 4% of Americans have this phobia. Historical figures such as Marie Antoinette of France and Tsar Alexander II of Russia are noted for their aversion to blood. Marie Antoinette reportedly swooned at the sight of blood during an accident at a hunting party, and Tsar Alexander II, despite his robust public image, was known to avoid surgical procedures and scenes of injury because of his discomfort with blood. Autophobia. Autophobia, or the fear of being alone, is a topic often discussed among young adults. Individuals with this condition can feel distress whether they are in a group or by themselves. Those with autophobia may fear or struggle to face life's challenges alone. When they are with others, they may worry about not being truly loved, accepted, or understood, which compounds their sense of isolation and fear. Glossophobia. Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. It can cause individuals to stutter, lose their train of thought, and struggle with coherent presentation due to the overwhelming fear of appearing foolish. Preparation, rehearsal, engaging in positive self-talk, practicing mindfulness and breathing exercises, and visualizing successful performance are effective strategies to combat this. Acrophobia. Acrophobia is the irrational fear of heights. While it's common for people to be cautious at great heights, those with acrophobia feel terrified even when they aren't actually in high or dangerous situations. This fear falls under a broader category known as space and motion discomfort. Conversely, some individuals have no fear of heights at all. Often recognized for their comfort with heights, these individuals commonly engage in activities such as hiking and rock climbing. They are well suited for professions in high-rise construction or bridge inspection. It is estimated that 2 to 5% of the global population suffers from acrophobia, with women being twice as likely as men to have this fear.